All right, Ultimate Oops Nation. I'm Aaron Wimsett. This is Sun Young Graves. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties this week. But we're going to break down kind of the seating meeting and the new system, what's good about it, what turned out bad, what was ugly. What are your initial thoughts from the new, or just how it went?
It's interesting. There's a lot of different strategies you could take, and it's basically built off of confidence from your team. That's basically how the new strategy works.
So we're a little confused if we were going to go just free for all. So all 16 teams minus the 4 seeds, or the 4 number 1 seeds, or in their respective brackets. If we were going to go free for all, so all 16, or we were going to pick the 8 teams that would play in the playing games, or the 8 teams that the teams could pick from. We ended up going with picking the 2 pools. Yep. So we picked, or we underlined the 8 playing teams that they could choose from. Do you think that worked out better, or would have been worked out better if we had not done that?
Basically, with the 2 pools and how it worked this first time, we kind of screwed the 4 seed in any way possible. Like, the only thing that they could do is hope to mess with the top teams so that they hope to take each other out and they get the best matchup they could. That was it.
So let's get to the good. So the good. This system kind of adds more meaning to the regular season. If you're picking the teams in your bracket, it should work in your advantage. The Shockers kind of did get screwed, but the top 4 teams get to pick who's in their bracket. Kind of talk about the advantage there.
Well, with the 2 pools, the advantage went to the Blazers, and I think they kind of misused it. For the most part, they had the last pick and the first pick for second round, and last pick, first pick for their Final Four matchup. So they pretty much made 5-5 forfeit, which is we'll talk about later. But basically, the Shockers just had an all-around bad day, and it was up to Big Smash and the Squires to go against each other for who they wanted in their bracket.
Other good thing about it that we thought about was in the past, players committee meetings we'd seed them all on a point system, and then we'd talk about it. So we'd always have teams, maybe like the initial, when we initially the point system, we'd have a team with 68 and we'd have a team with 38, and sometimes we'd end up switching them for whatever reason. So this kind of takes out the point discrepancies, the switching of the teams after we originally seed them, and kind of makes it more straightforward, which is nice.
Yeah, and I mean, this way it also gets the GMs involved, or the teams involved, so they can kind of select their own fate. Only thing I do think of is we tried to limit the negotiating between teams for picking slots, but if we open that table, that's where you kind of get a little betrayal and bad setups to where it's hey, well, I want the Rebels and I'll rather play them, but I want to play them after they play the Gorillas. But then you may still have a team all right, well, we're going to screw them and give them another team that they didn't want because we talked this out and they hope that I pick the way that they want to. But it'll be interesting going forward as we develop new rules for it.
The bad, we kind of already touched on it. The four seed kind of got screwed. Now they could have picked So they had the first pick, and I didn't catch on to this, but somebody had mentioned that Kyle was gonna pick the Barracudas. Is that true?
Yeah, Aaron was he wanted the Cudas, but at the same time, Shockers.
Yeah.
Aaron wanted the Cudas, but the only matchup that would even give them some type of run is hoping that maybe the Red Devils slip down to 13. Other than that, the Cudas is basically a free game for any of those 8 playing teams. So,
and I mean, if you think of it, the way he did it probably gives, out of these teams, well, the Rebels got a tough. Rebels Cudas is an easy matchup for the Rebels.
So I mean, with the Red Devils, that's his best bet. He hopes that the Red Devils take out the Rebels, and they'll see the Red Devils in their first matchup, and then they're probably hoping that the Blue Chips beat the Gorillas once again, and they see the Blue Chips in the Final Four. Which he's got the tougher teams, but he's hoping that those tough teams take each other out.
So you kind of touched on this already too, but you think it was bad that we didn't just open it up and then we picked the playing games.
Yeah. Basically, because we forced Aaron to be stuck with the Rebels, and we forced him to be stuck with the Gorillas, because nobody wanted those two teams in their bracket. Also, with Kyle, he was in the dilemma of picking his own team playing against the Celtics or playing against the Rebels. So you stick those two teams where he's limited to 2 teams. Of course, he's gonna have to go against the team that they're going to be shorthanded without him. So that's smart. But if you open it up, then you open it up to, you're going to have teams that are like, hey, let me think about it. I would rather just see one of the Gorillas or the Rebels rather than taking the chance that I don't see them at all, because you're taking the chance of not seeing them at all, which means you're going to see them.
On to the ugly. So the ugly is, of course, the Muskies 5-5. And I guess, the Blazers, if they didn't pick the Muskies 5-5, they would have got the free ballers of the Gorillas. So, that kind of makes sense. But when they picked, and I think I got it on tape, so we'll show it here.
Let's do it. All right, do it. All right, Junius. Muskies 5-5.
Yeah,
let's go!
But it was either James or Jake. The first thing they go is Junius Ho, and they said, "Let's go." So I think they already had it. They were probably sitting there, thinking about if they're left, we'll set them up against each other. Rumor has it the 5-5 will forfeit. The Muskies will advance, so the Muskies will be playing the Blazers. What's your prediction in that game?
That's going to be tough. 5-5 beat the Blazers, and 5-5 doesn't have a point guard, and so now you're going to play the Muskies where you still have Junius, you still have Casey, you have John, and now you're switching Anthony for Rablin. You're switching no point guard at all to go against Bennett, Zach McCray, and Trevor. So you kind of just gave yourself a tougher matchup. And they're rested because they're not going to be playing each other.
And then there was a lot of good, just reaction and stuff and talk going on. But the best of the night was Kyle Meade going. I don't know, who was he picking. He was picking the 11th to the 11th. So what did he have?
Yeah, it was out of.
So it would have been the way
Magic Johnson's left Muskies, and he looked at him and he was like, "Well, kind of owned Abdi this year, so I'm going against Abdi." I was like, so he called him out right there and there. So that's where the rivalry starts right there.
Here's that clip right now.
This is Really exciting.
It's actually fast. I'm having fun. I look stressed, but I'm having fun.
It's the most attended players committee meeting we've had in
This is awesome.
years.
We should have ordered a pizza this week. I need like a roster of like faces on it. Like, which teams are you asking about? Like, who's on the Magic Johnsons?
Pretty much the Shockers plus Abdi minus
Shockers plus
Zhao
Abdi.
Li
Minus
Okay.
Zhao.
and
Maybe I
Jake.
don't want to do that.
No, it's minus Jake and Zhao.
Don't lie to me.
I don't think you heard me. It's minus Jake and Zhao.
Don't lie to me.
No.
Take away
He's not lying.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
Oh, you're being serious?
So Magic Johnson's is basically the Shockers minus Jake and Zhao
plus Abdi.
Abdi.
And Saeed.
And Saeed.
And Saeed.
Yeah.
So that's the trade.
So you get two
I
Pistons.
lit Abdi up this year too.
All right, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson.
I still laugh watching that. Any final thoughts?
I mean, also Kyle called out the Celtics. It's like, yeah, it's like we suck. we suck. I mean, can I argue? And then the fact that we both know Hamels probably showed up to 2 games apiece for both teams, so you're looking at him being gone and his chances of playing Celtics team that hasn't played together, or the chance that the Rebels show up with 8 players that 1 week. So I guess I would take the Celtics too. But
All right, everybody. Playing games will be here in Fridley next Tuesday, 7:30, 8:30 on 2 courts. Then we'll have Bloomington South, Fridley, and then the following week, both the Final Four and the championship will be in Bloomington South. That is posted online. We'll see you next week for the playoffs.
The Broncos are easy money.
Oh, yeah, he's got a tough one. Man.
Yeah. I'm on the Celtics. The Celtics are worse. Honestly, from the GM.
If you could pick from all 16, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So it was on the clock. I am, yeah. Okay. This is going to be more than 4 seconds. This is like an ethical dilemma. This isn't like a basketball question.
You're on camera too.
Yeah.
Well, we suck.
Should be streaming this live right now on Periscope
5-1-4. There's your
next season.
reason.
We'll stream it.
Yeah. How many people watch those things?
Yeah, Celtics.
20?
Celtics.
Yeah. Make it a good game. Yeah, do that. Hey, do the top one. Do the top blue chips. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
Shots
shit.
fired.
Kyle just went from like one of the nicest white guys in the league to the most hated.
Hey, so no Rebels Gorillas championship.
Done?
Finally.
Pretty much done then.
And it worked out.
All right, thank
This
you,
is
everyone.
good. The league conspires to take out the girls. That's good.
You don't think I was rebel.